Yeah, I mean, hydration is a complex subject, and the notion that you need to drink gallons of water per day is like fairly invalid. We produce water ourselves from metabolism, so essentially a byproduct of creating energy, ATP. It'll be creating water in the mitochondria, and that'll be hydrating proteins in the mitochondrial matrix, but also in the cytosol, so that fluid in the cell. And this is where the biochemistry reactions occur. So a powerful component there is how the environment influences this water which we've made. So like drinking more water, technically it may help the extracellular, but what about the intracellular spaces? And again, like with electrolytes, ideally we'll be able to get them all from food. And
Yeah.
this is where the regulatory role of like kidney function would happen here and controlling the sodium, potassium, magnesium as well. And the adrenals will have an effect on this as well in how much sodium they require. When we're obviously under stress, the stress reaction there will be like loss of electrolytes. And then we need to remineralize, have more salts. But at the same time, there could be too much sodium. I think people obviously are coming around to the idea that salt is not the devil. We do need sodium. But at the same time, I think I've seen people oversalt and go too extreme with that
Yeah. Yeah.
and not having enough magnesium in place as well. And there's a
Right.
circadian rhythm as well as to the way that electrolytes are utilized. And the best way is that a blood test. And that will give us some idea around about adrenal function
Yeah.
because we do potassium wasting, or if it actually looks into the health of the cell. So if our cells are breaking down, we're going to be having more potassium in the blood, for example, as a byproduct of cell breaking down. So that will
Right.
give some indication of if there's cell destruction going on. But generally, like we can be dehydrated from technology alone. So being around Wi-Fi, being on our phone, being indoors away from the infrared spectrum of light, and
Yeah.
also the red light and the full spectrum. This is what truly is going to hydrate us or really going to create that charge in the water, for example. This is based on a principle from a gentleman called Gerard Pollock called the fourth phase of water and how
Mm.
water actually acts as a battery with the reaction of light and its polar charges, so a positive and a negative, and water actually acts as a battery in the cell.
Wow.
And this is where the individual personalized message comes home. It's like you notice you need more potassium. Someone else might feel terrible with potassium, especially first thing in the morning.
Mm.
And again, like the notion of that potassium is only found in bananas is like hilarious as well. It's really high in meat, for example,
Yeah.
which most people don't even think of. But generally, like in a hotter environment or wherever you're based around the world, that's going to be expressed in local seasonal food, for example. In the summer, that's where we'll find more potassium-rich fruits and vegetables, for example.
Right. Wow.
So
That's
there's
nature
a
working.
connection.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a connection there that we need more hydration. I don't know. I think when there's more hydration, there'd be and when there's more magnesium in our bodies and things are working well, there'd probably be less need for salt or sodium, or depending on like how much you're exercising, how much you're sweating, because when we sweat, we're losing a large amount of sodium as well.
Mm.
And like you can taste your sweat and see
So
how salty it
magnesium
is.
helps with hydration as well.
So magnesium helps with keeping the electrolytes in the body, as well as sulfur as well. And bicarbonate, they act as buffers in the kidneys to regulate the electrolytes.